way up in Boone County, where the wildwood flowers grow, lives a dancing mountain man, an outlaw named Jesse Cove. Well, they call him the dancing outlaw. He's a mighty dangerous man. He got ways somewhat peculiar. He's just doing the best that he can. Yeah, Jesco likes to buck dance when old Waddy plays guitar, sing along with his Elvis records, pass around a mason jar. But sometimes Jesco likes to huff the gas and drink his fill of beer. Sometimes he said he wants to hop along cold train and ride the hell on away from here. Fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, but he ain't got squat no more. Now one day outlaw Jesse, he met Norma Jean. He was out to steal her money, rum and rings. But just like that old Johnny Cash song, why, he fell for the girl. And like the boy from Tupelo, he left his mark upon the world. Fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, he ain't got squat no more. Now Jesco and Norma fell in love, passion overtook the fears. They got hitched and moved into a single wide, started collecting Elvis souvenirs. Now Jesse had a trailer and a pretty wife, but his past kept a-coming, messing with his good life. 'Cause fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, he ain't got squat no more. The fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, he ain't got squat no more. Hey, Hollywood came a-knocking with a promise of big star dollars. But fame don't last, neither does cash, and now Jesse's back in his Boone County holler. Petona, West by God, Virginia, that is. Fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, he ain't got squat no more. Well, now Jesse went out to Hollywood, and he even got to be on the Roseanne TV show with Dweezil Zappa. And that's a true story. He didn't get rich, son of a bitch, but he got more than his 15 minutes of glory. Now Jesco, he don't worry about the rest of the world. He just tries hard to do his best. You see, he's got the Holy Spirit in his heart and a jailhouse tattoo of Jesus on his chest. When it was all over, all Jesse got out of the deal was that new tattoo and a used riding lawnmower. These days he don't huff gas no more. He likes living just a little bit slower. He's up in his trailer in Geordie Mountain Holler, drinking 40-weight coffee, eating deer meat and cat head biscuits. But he still got his new tattoo. He still got his riding lawnmower. Said he gonna ride on over to his buddy Hassel Atkins' shack, and they gonna get him a real good double super buzz. But some nights, late up in Boone County, why you can still hear them old banjos and the mandolins ring. Jesco's got on his daddy's buck dancing shoes, and he's hitting a lick for the king. Fame coming knocking on Jesse's door, he ain't got squat no more.
About Jessica, I know you're a big Jessica fan.
Yeah, it's like Hassel was involved in my world a little before Jesco, just because of musically. But then when I guess right when that tape came out, I had a copy. You know, somebody just gave me a copy of this, and I really just felt touched by it because it was just real. You know, I mean, there's nothing fake about it. It was just realness, and that's kind of what struck home with me for only knowing him through his videos and stories for the last 10 years, and then finally going to get to meet him. He's just the most down-to-earth, nicest guy you could ever meet, and I'm sure we all have our bad days, and everybody can get a little cranky and all that stuff, but all his intentions are good. He's not out to really hurt nobody.
Well, I think you definitely got some Boone County in your blood yourself.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just feel a connection. It goes back to just with West Virginia in general. I feel a connection of. I've always said I've wanted to be buried in West Virginia, and that's where Hank Williams died, and there's something there, So.
Yeah, Oak Hill's not too far from Boone County.
Yeah, it's we've done a couple of shows for the bridge there and everything. So going and getting to just go down there and learn my bearings, and starting to get in with the family, getting to know them and stay with them a little bit, and just looking forward to the times we're going to get to have coming up, and hanging out more, and having good times, man. Just relaxing a little bit, killing some time up there.
Coming up with this dancing stuff, bluegrass thing, dancing with it would educate a lot of people and probably help them out a lot of making something. Because he figured maybe the age at his end, someday that he might be gone, die of old age and be gone, and he'd want somebody to take this dancing up, like he was doing, and have some way to make it, and things of that nature. But many people didn't kindly take him too serious. Some did and some didn't. And the ones that did still talks about him and misses him a great deal, because he was a good dancer and a storyteller. And I'm the oldest son of my father, and he learned me how to tap things. I guess I couldn't remember how old, but I know I was pretty young at the time. And I always afraid that if I started dancing, I was going to fall backwards, and hurt myself. He said, no, that's just the way you think in your mind. And Phil, he said, you won't fall backwards. He said, you just do what I tell you and watch my feet, and you can dance like I can. And he was trying to learn me, and the first thing he taught me was a flat foot dance, how to make my steps and move my feet. Well, we had to go over it quite a few times before I really got to do it like him. Ever since that, I've been dancing. And the ideal of it, when you first start to tap things, you got to really be interested in it and get it in your mind wanting to do it. And I've seen how people like him, and I wanted to do it too. And the way he showed me to do it was he tucked his heel down first, then his toe, like that. Then he kindly tucked his foot, the whole foot down like this, like a flat foot. Then he put that toe and heel together with the middle part of his foot and come out as a tap. He told me it was called flat-foot dancing to start out with. And that's what he actually started me out with, was the flat-foot dance.
Okay, the first time I met D. Ray White, he was 21 years old. And we dated and went together about 3 years when we got married. When I met D. Ray, he was a dancer, playing music everywhere. But I never did try to stop him from playing music and stuff, what he wanted to do in his life, because he told me one day, he said, Bertie, I go out and dance. When I go out and dance, I'm making money to bring back to the family. And he did. He would come back with a pocketbook full of money. Every time he went out, he would come back with a pocketbook full of money and give it to me to buy food and stuff for the family and stuff to help us out. And he never did bother nobody. He was an honest man. He kept his bills paid up to the date. I don't guess anybody owed a penny when he died and left this world. I was just at the Hawkins Jury store the other day, and the woman said, are you Miss White? I said, yeah. She said, I tell you, I have missed your husband worse than anything in the world. She said, that was an honest man I ever met in my life. She said, he'd come through the store skipping, hitting her leg through in the floor. She said, I'd look for that every month. I said, he was an honest and good man. Said, you can go anywhere in this town and ask about that man. He was a good man. I remember when I lived at twilight, he would get up before daylight and get a broom. The old people lived around. He'd go sweep their porches and their steps off, keeping them sliding and getting hurt. And they all missed him too. And we'd go through the Madison, everybody down there would be hollering, hello, D-Ray, hello. When he'd go through the courthouse, people would say, hit me a lick, Don. He would burn the floor up front of him. He put in all kinds of shows down at the Civic Center in Madison. Several times. Big crowds gather around. We'd be packed.
I'm Waddy Green, and Jessica is the only tap dancer I know, and even the best one I guess I've ever met up with. Back some few years ago, I'd say as far back as 50 years ago, I have a brother that's passed on. He was a wonderful tap dancer, and he taught Jessica's daddy, which is Don Ray, to tap dance. And then Don Ray, he taught all of his children to tap dance. But as far as I can see, Jessica is the one that learned the most in tap dancing. The rest of them just hits a few licks now and then and leaves it go at that. Jesse, he tries to make a thing of it.
Otherwise, me and my sister and her boyfriend, a cousin of mine, another girl named Lenny Mae, they came home one late Saturday night. I was sleeping on the couch. She said, get up. She said, we'll give you a bottle of Miller's beer if you go with us. I said, where in the world we going? She said, well, I'm going to go look for Randy. That's her boyfriend. And I said, Lord, I'm dying for a beer anyway. That's when I drunk, before I quit drinking. I said, let's go. That Miller sounded good to me because I was crying out anyway, man. I took the beer and we all took off hitchhiking and made it over to Racine right up here, West Virginia. And he lived over a hill there in our ship house. We went down there and he said if we ever come there, knock on his bedroom window. So she went up to his window and knocked. He said, Randy, he said, get up. He said, it's go. He said, get up, man, we're coming to get you. We got a little bit of beer and stuff to drink. And I said, we want to go and find more. He said, we're going to go get a buzz and go back home and, you know. This on the weekend was out looking for a party. And she wanted to be with him anyway because he was her boyfriend. So we pick him up and he gets ready. He says, wait to get my jacket and shoes. And he gets out and starts hitchhiking with us. All right, and my sister, Bo, knows Norma all this time. But I never knowed Norma before in my life till, I met her. So we take off hitchhiking. We start to cuss and cars pass up. And I said, that's a sight. There goes a man all by himself. That pickup truck, he's got room in the back to pick us up. And I said, man, it's sight people's that way. Get a little bit mad about it, but we just kept on hitchhiking and going on, walking and thumbing like we was going. And here came Norman. She was in a 68 Pontiac green, and Bo hollers like this, hey Norma, so this is Bo, man, stop, give us a ride. Like that was flagging. So we all take off like somebody jogging for exercise. Get in the car, they hop in the back, and here I hop up front. My cousin, anyway, she got in with me and got on the passenger side of the door. We all got in the car, and Norma said, where you going, Bo? She said, well, we out trying to get a buzz, man, looking for a party. He said, what you into? She said, well, I'm getting ready to go out on the hill here to, I forget if it's a wedding or some kind of business she had on the hill, party or something going on. And she had this real pretty, looked like glitter or something in her clothes that she was wearing. It was real beautiful. And to me, I thought she was a rich woman because she had this pretty looking clothes on. And she wore glasses at the time. I didn't realize that Bo knowed her. But sure enough, she did. We all got to talking, and I told Norma, I said, I think I'm falling in love with you. And she said, well, I think that's nice. And she thought I was talking about the girl sitting beside of me that she picked up with me. But I was really talking about her. She thought I was talking about Lenny, my cousin. I said, no, honey, I'm talking about you. I said, can you see without your glasses? She said, well, sure. And she took her glasses off. I kissed her. But since we was criminals and all, we was out really. I was out to rob her and take her car away from her. But I fell in love with her, with the lady, and got away with nothing. You know, like that song Johnny Cash sang. I was out to steal her money and rings and run, fell in love with the lady, and got away with nothing. Well, that's eventually what I had in my mind. That's really how me and Norma met. My intentions was to rob her, but I fell in love with her and didn't get to. And the shape that the lighter fluid had me in at the time made me go and do the stupid old thing over again. I had to give it one more chance, you know. And then after done that, I got away again. I didn't get caught. What I was going to tell you. And then this guy come to my mother that knowed my father. He was drunk, and we lived at Seth at this time. That's up a road here at my Racine. And he was on whiskey, and he was drunk. And he asked me to drive for him. I was sniffing gasoline in a pop can, RC can, inhaling it in my lungs, like I was sniffing it. He has a 5th 100 proof whiskey. And she told him, said, the old man ain't here today, talking about he was wanting to see my dad. And she said, he's gone somewhere, he ain't here today. And Mommy said, don't you go nowhere for him, said he's drinking. I said, don't tell me what to do. I said, Mommy, I know what I'm doing. She said, Jesse, you'll probably wreck and get killed or end up in jail. I said, don't go. And I wouldn't listen to her. So I went anyway. And he said, would you drive for me? He said, I don't want to lose my operators. I said, well, sure. What's a friend for? You give me a 5th of liquor drink. Surely God, I'm going to drive for you. And I was sniffing gasoline in this can, but I was young and didn't realize it either because I was wild too at the time. He had a 73 Impala Chevrolet. And I just pulled out of that yard, buddy, doing donuts like a wild man. Put it down in first low gear and jumped the railroad track. Was in front of our house with it. His head was a-flopping like this. And I had it all the way to Florida and took him across the Wims Mountain in it. 70 mile an hour. I don't know how we got off the mountain around the curves. I guess the Lord was with us too. And we'd go around that curves and it'd sound like the untouchable car. The wheels would squall on it and stuff. And his just head a-flopping. We both was drunker than dogs. Couldn't hold our head up. Got down there to Gordon. And before we got to Gordon, when we got into Gordon, we was a-flying. I say I was doing 70 or maybe 75 mile an hour. And I was drunk, and I was young at the time, and I didn't care if I did live or die, or for nobody. And he was in there with me, and his drunk, his head was flopping like this. So I had the car all the way down, it'd go, up to 70. And we hit this man's fence. I took about maybe 8 or 9 feet of his fence out in his paper box. It was hung up in front of the car. I went all the way across the road sideways, nosedive down in the river and hit a big rock like that. His head hit the dash and said, where are we at? I said, you're in the damn river. Where do you think you at? The state police comes and gets us out of the car. Lays me down on the ground. They put a sheet over me because I had wet and stuff all over me. And they, I guess, thought I was dead because that car looked like it was tore up pretty bad in the front. And they got him for giving liquor to a minor or something as far as that goes. But anyway, he lost his operators and had to pay a fine. And I went to Spencer State Hospital over it, as far as I can remember. And I got there, Spencer, and I stayed a month and got out 30 days for the crime that I done. And all they got me for is reckless driving, driving without any operators, and driving drunk. And they mostly got him for letting a young person like me on the steering wheel to start with. And I was pretty well lit on the liquor and huffing that gas at the same time, man. I seen 2 highways. So I just cut out in another road, and that's when we blacked out and wrecked. And the car looked badly, tore all to pieces. Looked like, somebody got killed in it, but we didn't. We just, got out alive. Okay, here we go. I stand on a corner, not doing no harm. Long come around hat, that state trooper, took me right arm, took me around a corner, he rang a little bell. Last thing I knew, I was in the Boone County Jail. Well, he sent me for the judge and said I'd been running around. So he sent me up to a little place called Pruning Town. That's West Virginia Industrial School for Boys. When I got there, I hurt it in my chest. Man, it took me all day to get the road set. Well, they sent me to a state hospital to take a bath. Set me on a chair and began to squeak. First bath I ever had ever since I fell in Bandytown Creek. Now here we go, bear with me. Said I stand on a corner, don't know how. Don't come at around, took me by my way. Took me around a corner, there goes the bell. Last thing I know, I was in the Boone County Jail. Well, they sent me for the judge, instead of him running around. Here I go back up to Pruning Town. Here them shackles are rattling, fantastic. Yeah. Well, they sent me to the dormitory to make it my home. That's where they kept all the boys. Hung my head and began to cry. Said to myself, I just had to try. I was informed I have to learn. If I didn't, I'd have to see the superpenitentiary. I ain't catching me standing on no more corners. Get it. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You did great, buddy. Okay, we'll get you to get a pic. I was going to talk to you about something. Oh, absolutely. You did a great job. We got to talk to you about those swastikas on his arm.
You'll get me a picture and let me have it.
I don't. You bet.
I gave it to your manager.
I mean him for photo.
John Goodman?
Can I get a picture to keep with me?
He knows what the swastikas mean.
Yeah, the key.
You know, we're Jewish, yes?
Okay, fine. All right.
Maybe you could tell us what you first thought when you saw Jesco on tape?
Well, I'm from Missouri, and we have the James boys and the Youngers. And I think the Whites are a little bit like that. I think Roseanne was a little bit lit up when she saw the swastikas on his arms, but, what the heck.
Jesco rocks, rules our world. He totally, you can't find dancing like that anywhere. And I think it's going to sweep the nation. I really do.
Jesco mania is imminent.
You got it.
You betcha. You can quote us on that.
Yes, that's right, man.
You guys got the foot thing down yet?
All right. When you visit a tattoo studio, get your swastikas covered up?
Well, sure.
Well, here you go. Take this. You go visit while you're here.
Yeah.
You have any time?
If they'll let me go. I mean, my manager lets me go.
She will let you go. You go there and get them covered up. I know a good place. It's called Tattoo Mania. It's over on Sunset. I can't take because I got to shoot. I got to shoot after tonight. But I'll make sure they take you. And if you have any trouble, you need a car to get over there. I'll take you.
What if I don't get to go? You have the money back.
Oh, you'll get to go.
Really?
Yeah, I promise you. Michelle, come here.
Having a ball, man. The king's back. I've had a terrific time, and I'm getting ready. Might go get a tattoo. I don't know.
Somebody had talked to me about this particular documentary, the Jessica White, the Dancing Outlaw. So I had him search around, one of my assistants, and get the tape. And then I watched it, and I just fell in love with it. It's one of the best pieces of work I've ever seen. And it was great. So I showed it to a lot of people. Rosie showed it to everybody. All of our kids have seen it. We've taken it to people's houses and showed it to them. And we had all the cast together one day. We went in there and watched the whole thing, and then we got the crew to watch it and the writers. And then so we wanted to do something where we had Jessica on the show because we were fascinated by the guy. And so this is what happened. And it came to this.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob.
Really appreciate it.
All right, man. Great job. Have fun tonight.
Thanks.
Get rid of those tattoos.
All right.
I like to get this good tattoo.
Well, let's see, with something like that, you're really going to have to go kind of dark. Something kind of heavy. Typical thing to do would be to use some roses.
That ain't a too very well tattoo, but the person put it on was a little bit high when he did it on some lighter fluid. And I was also, but after come down and seen it, I didn't like it either. I was just stuck with it.
Well, when you come over here, what we'll do is we'll do a nice cluster of them. You can use any color you like, the purple, the red, the blue.
The only thing I know is supposed to be a German sign. It's some kind of belief of the Germans. So I don't know what, kind of belief religion it is. I just know it's a Nazi sign. I asked a couple of friends of mine, was in a cycle game, what did the Nazi sign mean? He said, there's so many million people that Hitler killed, even little babies. And these people that he killed, he baked them in ovens, in furnaces, and tucked bulldozers and dug trenches to throw their bodies in the holes. And it was just an awful, chilling, scary story, which was really true. It frightened me, too. And then I got thinking, I was so glad that I did get that tattoo covered up then.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. National business. Good deal. Keep good work.
All right.
There was quite a homecoming just a little bit ago at the Yeager Airport. Boone County's hometown hero, dancing outlaw Jessica White, touched back down on West Virginia soil after his big debut in Hollywood.
What happened down at the Yeager Airport, coming home was a wild experience, man. When I come in, all my people were there. It was decided, they come at us like a bunch of buffaloes.